Hey, I'm former Riot, and it's the 21st of the 12th of the 12th. Mayan said if the world was going to end today, I say, forget that, let's record a podcast. I have Paingod back after about a month. I have our editor, Whittacker, he's finally speaking. You get to hear his sweet voice, and trust me, he's a cool guy. And we have musician Meelz, so it's going to be a fun show for you all today. So sit back, grab yourself a nice cool beverage of lemonade, so you can watch the fires of Tartarus destroy the world. I have caramel ice cream. This is Flamecaster. And here we are, and welcome to episode 9 of Flamecaster. As I mentioned before in the intro, he's back. Paingod, where have you been?
I've been working. Be quiet. Some of us have realized outside of ponies and the internet.
I don't believe you.
Well,
I honestly don't believe it.
I don't believe me either.
Neither do I.
I called you out, and also, as I mentioned before in the intro, we have our editor finally on the show. You can hear his voice.
My hideous voice.
Hideous voice. Yeah, he's that one who has been giving PU lip, and anything negative that you want to say and all the complaints, they've all been directed to him, so he loves you all already, listeners. He's your best friend.
Yeah, I'm not.
Seriously though, you should be embracing this, taking advantage of this. This is your time to finally let loose and get revenge.
Make sure the embracing is actually,
savage hugging.
I can't even think of the word now. It's wanted by both sides. I forgot that word. God damn it. This is a brilliant start, isn't it?
Oh, we are. This is exactly what I expected. I'm not.
Yeah, because I partially wanted to be on the show and partially really not wanted to be on the show.
Well, Tough, I'm dragging you on here because it's the end of the world.
Oh.
It's all over now.
Chance.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's going to explode, which means that this thing will never get edited and never get aired, in which case, who cares?
Oh yeah, I can just f*** around with you guys.
Yeah, we have nothing to worry about. That being said, it's a little sad that it ends this way.
Yeah.
Yes, I haven't seen the world end, but I expected, the 21st to start and, the earth to open up, fire to shoot out of the ground, winged beasts.
And we miss Applejack's singing episode.
And we never get to hear Applejack sing.
What did the Minds have against Applejack? Seriously.
Obviously, they're not pony lovers.
Obviously.
No, obviously the Applejack wasn't their favourite pony.
They're obviously not pony lovers, and that's why they're dead. However, we do have a show to do, even if no one's going to hear it. We also have a very, very special guest who we've gotten contact to, even though he's in Malaysia. He's able to speak with us today, and that is the musician Meelz.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Hello. How's Malaysia?
Malaysia is hot, it's humid, and I'd also like to apologize in advance if it sounds like I've got 3 dicks down my throat, because I'm down with a terrible cold.
You're in one of the hottest parts of the globe, and you have a cold. How do you do that?
Yeah, I don't even know, cause my brother's bedroom has got air conditioning, so I was like, God, it's so hot, I'm gonna set it to the lowest thing, and I just kind of fell asleep, woke up, wow, my throat feels terrible.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time someone compared a cold voice to 3 dicks down their throat.
It is probably one of the greatest.
Not that I know how it feels or anything, what?
You sure?
Of course not. I just wanted to know, if everything was on fire over there yet or not.
Well, see, we could fry an egg out on the road, but otherwise, nah.
Yeah, maybe the apocalypse is expanding out from the equator.
So anyways, Meelz, first of all, what I want to say is I am a huge fan of your music, so this is one of the interviews that I've gotten really excited over. Just because there are so many electronic musicians in this fandom that when you hear someone doing rock, or especially punk rock, it's just this wonderful breath of fresh air.
Oh, totally. It's like when I first got into it, I was looking at everyone. There's always someone trying to be the new Living Tombstone, or, the new Alex Sess, or, God forbid, the new Mike the Microphone. We had a huge influx of rappers and stuff. And, I was like, fuck it, I can play guitar.
Whereas, what we really need is the pony version of Jonathan Coulton.
Oh, definitely. I'd actually like to see a ponified version of, Still Alive, or Once You're Gone, or Portal Songs. I don't think we've seen that yet.
I was thinking more along the lines of, what was it, Code Monkey?
Oh, Code Monkey. God, that song is so cute.
Wonder how you ponify that one.
Actually, I think actually going back a bit, there is a bona fide version of Still Alive. I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah, there
Okay.
is, because obviously Portal.
It's called Still Equestrian.
Well,
but I
I
get
think
what you're
it's
saying.
called Rule 34 point something, where it's like one of the rules of the internet. If it exists, there's plenty of it.
We've been working very hard on that.
We have been.
Yeah.
So I guess going straight into it then, so because as you already mentioned, you wanted to, start making music that was a bit different from the electronic stuff. Was it just that drive of wanting to be different that inspired you to get going?
Not just that. Let me take you back to, I think it was mid last year, about July or something of 2011, in case you're listening to this next year, in which case Happy New Year and all that jazz. I recorded my first song, which is Listen to Me, which is on EP for Twilight, available now on Bandcamp and iTunes, wink wink, nudge nudge. At that point, I kind of got into the mindset of, yeah, I'm playing guitar and I kind of want to get into recording and writing my own music and stuff and hopefully take it somewhere. But for the longest time, that was literally the only song I had. And when I first heard, I think it was when I first heard Nightmare Night by Wooden Toaster, Glaze, and Mike the Microphone, when I was like, this song completely screams metal, and I was like, I'm gonna try metal on this, and turned out to be a Limp Bizkit cover, but whatever. And then immediately after, I started watching the show a bit more, and I was inspired by Twilight Sparkle, my favorite pony of the main six. I wrote songs for Twilight, I wrote more songs for Twilight later on, and I made Twilight. So pretty much, to sum it up, my drive really came from, I'm inspired by the show, I want to make music. It's not so much I want to be included in the community, not to say that I'm not having fun in the community, I'm having lots of fun in the community, but that's kind of it, yeah.
That's interesting. I think you're probably the first person we've had on the show who said, like, yeah, it's not so much I want to give back to the community, it's just I want to pursue my own goals, and I'm using the community as a gateway for that.
Oh yeah, actually...
You make it sound so horrible.
No, that's not horrible at all. That's that's one of the great things about the community is that it's creating these opportunities for people.
Yeah, it's pretty much my kind of thing that I've been saying this entire time is that I don't... Well, of course I care for the community, I've made a lot of friends in it and everything, but it's not so much that I care for making this music for bronies, but it just so happens that I'm inspired by this character to make this kind of music. And I actually made a promise to all my friends and my fans and everything that the second I actually get on some sort of record label and release a full budget album or whatever, that song for Twilight is 100% definitely going to make it on there. No alterations, no nothing. Just re-recorded 100% just like that. And I'm definitely going to be writing more songs for that group.
I'm just kind of confused how you take Twilight and turn it into something rock. She never really struck me as the rock character.
Are you kidding
Yeah,
me? Have you seen her dancing? Imagine her in a mosh pit.
Oh man,
Kill everyone. She would bruise so many eyes
that would be beautiful. I would cry.
and
I
groins.
think we discussed this before, though, the notion of a pony mosh pit.
I must have missed that one.
Just how much carnage would be in that. I think we discussed that with Stormwolf.
So much blood.
Just it would be so many broken wings and shattered horns. But
That's why safety dance exists. You can dance safely in a mosh pit. Just nobody bothers.
fair enough.
It's no
But then
fun.
again, you've also got the Pegasi who's moshing in the air and stuff, like, 2 feet above everyone else.
A Pegasi circle pit equals a tornado.
Oh, that would be even worse news, yeah.
Crowd
but-
surfing is just unicorns using telekinesis.
Weak. Real ponies jump on other ponies. Going back a little bit on topic, though, you've also gone out there and you've worked with other members in the community, such as Kuroshiya and Ashtel Ash. So I have to ask from that, then, what is the most fun that you've had during one of these collaboration? Like, are there any good stories from that?
I can never really pinpoint a great standout story, because each collaboration I've had kind of has its own very interesting story, Brony Skype Swag, which is a song on Kuroshiya's EP, Word Life, was in development hell for a couple of weeks. Ashtil Ash's collab for the cover of Rainbow by Kuroshiya took about 2 seconds to do because I'd already made friends with her. We've got mutual friends and all that jazz. And I suppose one standout story I could do is probably what I had with Stormwolf, where because me and Stormwolf are in the pre-listening chat, and we've also known each other through a Facebook group called the Bronies of New South Wales. We kind of talked for a while, and one day we were in pre-listening, we were like, lol, we should do a collab or something, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. I thought he was kind of joking, but the second he said that, I'm like, holy shit. Stormwolf does orchestra, he does electronic, I do rock and metal. We could make this electrocustra. Yeah, that's what we call it. So that was the second that I got to writing Crossing Paths, The Consequences Paid, where and in before Megadeth song title. But that's I just started writing that. I put down electronic bits, and I told him, this is where the strings should go and everything, and I got to writing that. And so we kind of bounced ideas back and forth, sort of. And it was in development hell for the longest time. Let me tell you, you've got two of the most lazy people. You've got the second deadliest duo after Stormwolf and Glaze, because apparently their song Fruits of Her Labor took forever to do. Apparently nowhere near as long as Crossing Paths though. But I kept prodding him, have you done anything? And he was like, oh, I've kind of got school, or I'll do it tomorrow or something. And so yeah, I just kind of waited around, and eventually I kind of forced him to sit down and get to work and everything. And the second he gave it to me, I was like, oh shit, I forgot to do so and so, and I had to go into the studio and do guitars and everything. And so, as you could tell, it just took forever, and you had Kuroshia kind of messaging me on Skype every 2 seconds, like, how's the song going? How's the song going? How's the song going? Shut the f*** up! It's coming along just okay, and then we eventually released it, and it was fine. Everyone kind of flagged it down because it had shitty vocals, but that was before I learned how to melodyne or to properly sing. And I'm really sorry about that, but I kind of had, as I said, 3 dicks down my throat.
So, in that case, would there be any chance of a re-release of it with remixed vocals?
I think I brought this up once. I honestly can't remember if it was in a Skype or if it was in a video or something, but at one point I said to someone, because I was actually asked a lot if I was going to remake Song for Twilight or Crossing Paths, those two in particular, because of their recording quality and all that jazz. I honestly don't think I deserve to, because every musician, whether you like it or not, you look at people like me, and then you look at people like Tombstone, then you look at, legendary musicians like Metallica or whoever's still alive in the Beatles. So, no matter who you are, no matter how old you are, and no matter how long you've been doing music, you're still learning. And honestly, I'm definitely still on my way. I'm not going to call myself the greatest musician ever. That's kind of Kuroshia's job. But I'm honestly not gonna say I deserve to re-record Song for Twilight or Crossing Paths yet. Like I said, if I do a full budget album with like someone to actually watch over and tell me off for making wrong decisions in engineering or recording or anything, that's when I believe I'll deserve to re-record Song for Twilight. Otherwise, if I do Crossing Paths right now with what I've learned, I'll wake up about a week from now and I'll be all, oh shit, why didn't I do so and so? Because I've learned that within that past week. And it will keep going on and on. There's some sort of paradox going on. So yeah, pretty much I'm just going to leave it as it is until I feel I deserve to.
Okay, that's very noble of you, and that will just, I guess when it does finally get released, we're really going to get, a final masterpiece. It's
going to be a really final, be all end all, balls to the walls, kick in the balls, punch in the face, call your mother a cunt kind of thing.
Excellent.
There is going to be so much editing on this.
Nonsense.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Uncut version.
If you want me to tone down on the swearing,
No, honestly, I love it.
Don't cut down on the swearing. It makes
Yeah. How does our editor feel about the swearing at this stage?
Only ones like, I'll edit it out.
That was the best impression of Meelz I've ever heard.
Alright, back on track though. So you do mention that you're still learning the process and all that, and you're still looking to improve. So from that, I'd like to ask exactly what processes are you going through now when creating one of your songs?
Very, very hard to say, because each, just as each song has its own story behind it, each song kind of went through a different kind of process in writing. When you go back as far as Listen to Me, like I said, the first song that I actually did myself, it started off as me hammering on the bass and thinking, lol, I'm just going to make a MIDI file of this, and I ended up actually taking it to the studio and everything. studio, meaning my dad's room where he puts his keyboards and computer and shit. And then Nightmare Night. I'm just going by chronological order. And Nightmare Night Metal Mix was, I literally just started recording and playing whatever. Like, that was not written at all. There's my secret. Nightmare Night was not written at all. I literally just played Glazer's version over my headphones and kind of just played along with it. And that's literally it. Song for Twilight started off with just one riff and a drum beat behind it on MIDI. And after a while, when I actually watched the show, I actually there's another secret. That Song for Twilight was actually written before I discovered ponies. But when I actually started watching the show, I decided, this instrumental really calls for Twilight Sparkle. So I was inspired by that. I started writing all that jazz, and there you had it, Song for Twilight. So that's
this song.
Yeah, that's pretty much the songwriting process. The technical process, though, is a totally different ballpark. Let me just sum it up in a few words. Play guitar, get mad, play guitar, get mad, play guitar, get mad, settle for less, upload to YouTube, the end, everyone hates Meelz.
Yay! Followed by excessive celebration.
So you're taking the role of the bad boy of the Brony music crowd, are you? Is that what you're trying to go for? Trying to be the Sex Pistols?
I don't even know. I can't even imagine what kind of image I'm going for. I just kind of made music. But if I wanted to pick an image that I had in the community, that me and Kuroshi are pretty much like the tightest duo ever. So like if you guys are familiar with wrestling, I'd compare the two of us to D-Generation X, which is like the biggest tag team or whatever in the WWE. So me and Kuroshi, fucking peanut butter and jelly right there.
I just gotta say, it's always, a little shaky when you compare yourself to WWE wrestlers, because they do tend to flip.
Yeah, apologies in advance if I start referencing WWE way too much, because Kuroshi's got a really bad influence over me. He's the one... Everyone listening to this right now, you can go blame him right now. Kuroshi, if you're listening to this is your fault that I'm, obsessed over this. I got two shirts in the mail the other day. Spent jillions of dollars on the merchandise and shit.
I guess unfortunately
that's money that you're not spending on ponies, you monster.
Yeah, blame Kuroshi for that.
I will. I think he's coming on the show actually in a couple weeks, so I'll make sure to bring that up and lay a little bit of a smackdown. Haha, wrestling.
There you go.
Oh gosh. All right, so just. Unfortunately, we're starting to run a bit tad on time, so real quick, what is in the future for Meelz?
Well, there's PonyCon AU, which, if you don't know about it, is going to be a convention that is going to happen in Sydney, April 6th and 7th, I believe. I can't exactly remember.
Yes, that's right.
Google it. Go to ponyconau.com to find out more of that. Other than that, trying to get a hold of like small gigs or whatever, perhaps here in Malaysia, some here in Malaysia, and then when I go back to Perth, which is pretty much where I'm situated right now, couple gigs over there. Even if they're not strictly brony gigs, like I'm still gonna be doing my EP for Twilight stuff. Other than that, collabs all over the place. Off the top of my head, F-Dog, possibly Prince Whatever and Tombstone, if they are, keeping to their word and that stuff. Kuroshi, a lot of that stuff. But as far as long-term kind of future goes, I honestly don't know. Like, I'm just gonna keep playing my guitar, and hopefully it takes me somewhere, and I don't end up a hobo on the street playing Metallica covers for $2 to spend on a McDonald's sandwich.
Just ask me one question. Please tell me how the brony community is in Malaysia.
Well, I honestly do not have a clue about it. I've got a couple friends, probably one or two. Off the top of my head, I'm going to shout out, hey Andrew, hey Hazi, how's it going? Those two probably know Malaysian bronies a lot better than I do. Apparently, they are, yeah, I honestly don't know. But as far as I've seen from like photos and meetup videos or whatever, They seem to be just about the same as any other bronies. You know, they love having fun. They're really into ponies and all that jazz. How the individuals are one by one are like, you know, I can't actually say for myself because I honestly don't know anyone apart from those two that I've shouted out. But yeah.
Do you do any like pony performances, like pony music performances in Malaysia?
I'm trying to find some. I get to tag along with my dad's band, who apparently gets some gigs somewhere. He's like, you know, I could jump on and do song for Twilight the next time he gets a gig, which I have no idea when is.
I can just imagine you going to like a big Malaysian pub.
You know, some bar on the like the Malaysian docks where all the workers are just
Yeah.
playing whiskey. It's like, and now tonight's act, we got Song for Twilight. What the hell is this shit?
Just don't mention it's from My Little Pony.
Lol, Twilight Spangle. You watch Pony is for little girl.
They wouldn't necessarily know, and then it turns out that half the guys
Brooch.
they're actually hardcore bronies.
Oh shit, yeah.
Awesome. So I guess from there, it's time to take us to our musical break. First of all, thank you, Meelz, for letting us interview you.
No
A
worries.
lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. Awesome stuff. And now we're going to play a little song of yours as well. Woohoo!
Ooh, sweet.
Indeed. The song we have chosen, I can't say I chose it because I was given a list of what is acceptable, and the song I was hoping to did come up. It is a cover of Pinkie Pie's Smile, 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 except it's a punk rock version, which is the best musical genre. So, yep, here is Pinkie Pie Smile cover by Meelz.
My name is Pinkie Pie, and I am here to say I'm gonna make you smile and I will brighten up your day. It doesn't matter now if you are sad or blue, 'cause cheering up my friends is just what Pinkie's here to do. 'Cause I love to make you smile, 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 yes I do. It fills my heart with sunshine all the while, it does. 'Cause all I really need is a smile, smile, smile from these happy friends of mine. I'd like to see you grin, I'd love to see you beam. The corners of your mouth and up is always Pinkie's dream. But if you're kind of worried, your face is made of frown, I'll work real hard and do my best to turn that sad frown upside down. 'Cause I love to make you grin, 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 yes I do. Bust it out from year to year, let it be, yeah. Just give me a joyful grin, 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 and you fill me with good cheer. It's true, some days are dark and lonely, and maybe you feel sad, but Pinkie will be there to show you that it isn't that bad. There's one thing that makes me happy and makes my whole life worthwhile, and that's when I talk to my friends and get them to smile. I really am so happy, your smile fills me with glee. I give a smile, I get a smile, and that's so special to me. 'Cause I love to see you yes I do. Tell me what more can I say to make you see that I do. It makes me happy when you beam. Yes, it always makes my day. Come on every pony, smile, 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 fill my heart up with sunshine, sunshine. All I really need is a smile, smile, smile from these happy friends of mine. Come on every pony, smile, 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 fill my heart up with sunshine, sunshine. All I really need is a smile, smile, smile from these happy friends of mine. Yes, I'll make it get for me. It's a smile as wide as a smile to make me happy as can be. Smile, 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 smile. Come on and smile. Come on and smile. Come on and smile.
Yeah, I can come back with that. If you really want. Yeah! And we're back!
That just happened.
Yeah. So that was Smile. Yes, that did just happen. That was the Smile cover of...
Keep going, man.
I just
Keep
lost
going.
it. I'm sorry. Oh. So that was Meelz' cover of Smile by Pinkie Pie. We're back. That took way too many takes.
The Smile song for the anti-establishment.
I'd just like to
Nailed
add,
it.
yeah.
Nailed it. Okay.
You're welcome.
And now it's time for my favorite part of the show, really. Well, they're all favorite parts, but it's episode discussion time.
All right, this is
Yeah.
this is where Rainbow Dash starts right. Mouth starts writing checks that her body can't cash. Come on.
Well,
Come on,
I
we need as many
actually
references as
heard that
possible.
as Rainbow Dash starts riding chicks. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Let's keep it PG. Let's keep it
Checks.
PG.
Writing
I just heard
checks.
that Rainbow Dash starts selling her body for cash, and I was just like, oh, okay, so that's what the episode was about.
Lightning Dust, you're dangerous. That's right, Rainbow Dash. I am dangerous. And then Rainbow Dash does that jaw thing that Iceman does, and it's awesome.
Rainbow Dash, Lightning Dust, these are stripper names. Whoa. There are little kiddies watching this show.
It's the dark truth of the Wonderbolts. It's a harem.
Wow, we went very dark very quickly, didn't we? And normally I'd like that, but I have to admit, so far from what I've seen, this has been the first episode that didn't really follow the tradition of this season being the darkest of the three.
Well,
Except for the tornado.
yeah, except for that.
Except for that little moment. But really, this episode, it was quite tame, I found, compared to the others we've seen
Yeah.
so far.
It was a nice, solid episode, which is interesting because of that I was reading up on it, and I was kind of surprised, but not surprised, that it's actually a Merryweather written one.
Yeah.
As in the chick who did Manderwell, which means that she went from doing the worst one to she's really picked up.
Yeah, she's picked up and it was a solid episode. The biggest problem, well, I've had two problems with it. First, I'm going to do the problems, and then I'm going to say the things I like, because there was a lot I like. Like, don't get me wrong, I really did like this episode. Two problems I had. One was the Pinkie Pie subplot. That one, for the listeners, no, I am not the largest Pinkie Pie fan, so we can just throw that aside. The other thing I didn't like was a pretty common complaint, which I heard from a lot of people, was the ending really left on a weird note. I feel that the message, standing up what you believe in, would have come across a lot more solidly if Rainbow Dash actually had walked away from the Wonderbolts and not...
I
Come
guess
back.
you could say they rainbow dashed that ending.
Yeah!
God.
That pun was never funny when we first came up with it.
Shut up!
But you
I'm
when you
probably going to
mentioned
be
the
defending the ending, but
when you mentioned the Pinkie Pie subplot was when I wanted what I was thinking was I kind of found it absolute just because Pinkie Pie and Rainbow Dash probably tied for my second favorite when I said Twilight was my number one, but I thought it was just absolutely redundant until actually no, come to think of it, it was pretty much just redundant. You could have had literally just Rainbow Dash and you could have just forgotten about the rest of the main six.
Yeah.
It would not have made a difference. In fact, you could have probably put a bit more focus on like Lightning Dust or any of the other aspects on Rainbow's plot. Wait, what? Huh? Never mind. PG.
Yes, we could have seen much more plot devices being used in the showers after a rough day training. But I do agree with you entirely with that. Like, the entire Pinkie subplot really just... I didn't get it. You could have had the tornado put the other cadets in danger and have had the same message.
Actually,
Yeah, Rainbow Dash
actually,
wouldn't care
when
about
you
that.
mentioned that, I legitimately did not remember that it was the rest of the main six that were in the tornado. Because I only saw it when the episode leaked, and I didn't see it again since. So in my mind, I kind of just pictured it was just the cadets that were in the tornado. I actually didn't even remember that the main six were in the episode at the end of it. So
They had the
They
main
were all
six.
there.
They had the main six in there because it's like, oh, it's my friends. I gotta go save them. If it was just the fellow cadets, it's like, fine.
no. Rainbow would have gone, oh god, my teammates are in danger, and then you could have had Lightning Dust just going, they would have gone themselves out of it.
She didn't have that much bonding time as with her cadets.
And it would have made more sense with the whole cloud thing as well. So I did kind of like. Actually, I didn't find too many problems actually with Pinkie because it added a little bit more depth to the whole thing. So it's like she's going off for this thing, and then she has one of her best friends who has dependency issues.
Yep.
And how she'd react to it. The answer is badly.
Yeah, that's variety.
Yeah.
I suppose you could say that's the case if you wanted to broaden Pinkie's character, or you wanted to broaden anyone else's character in the main six. But at the same time, when it comes to serving the purpose of the main plot of the episode, which is pretty much Rainbow Dash with the Wonderbolts, I'm like, I suppose I could be really cool and say what's the point, but Yeah, you know what? I kind of really have to say that. I am so sorry.
It
I
added
agree.
depth to it, but it probably could have been at the very least cut down quite a bit.
Anyways, moving on from that, positives of the episode. Rainbow Dash's character. After the last episode where I expressed my displeasure of how kind of selfish she was asking, major 180 turnaround. Like she actually finally resembled her element of loyalty. Like
Nailed it.
she was fantastic, and that was the Rainbow Dash I think a lot of people have been waiting to see. So I thought her character was written fantastically.
I think the best thing they did for this episode was they made her a wingman, and the primary thing for a wingman in the Air Force is they're always second fiddle. They're the ones who get none of the glory and all of the blame. That's what they do. So having Rainbow Dash in that position and actually acting as a proper wingman.
Like I really
Yes.
like seeing her character have a lot more, she's a lot more humble. She has a lot more modesty and all that jazz. Because she definitely does have a whole bunch of other qualities to her character that we'd like to see developed a lot more, as opposed to her just being the arrogant, lol, 20% cooler, I'm awesome, and all that shit.
We saw the balance of that finally in this episode, and I thought that was really, really good. And it served as a reminder of why Rainbow Dash is one of the most popular characters. Like it finally felt justified after this episode. She definitely went up like 20 pages in my book after
20.
that. And another thing,
Exactly
20 pages. I have a list. Something people don't know. I have a pony list where I rank
God.
the top 50,
Sad.
and she went up 20 places.
That's sad.
That's also not true.
Oh.
It's actually only 30, but and she didn't go up 20. She only went up 3. She went from like 8 to 5.
Kaslam.
Who's she beating now?
She's beating. I'll tell you who she's not beating because she's number 5. Scootaloo, Best Pony, Lyra, Octavia, and Rarity.
I have no words for that.
But
She's beating Applejack?
Everyone
she's
beats Applejack.
beating
No, come on, guys, come on. Applejack's personally my favorite background pony. I mean, what?
There we go. I was waiting for that.
There it is.
I love Applejack.
Wolfie is going to hate you. Anyways,
But back to the episode. The ending. Okay, the ending. I would have preferred it if it was more. If Spitfire had actually seen RD blow up at lightning dust, and then there was actual like disciplinary action. So it's like there's a chain of command. There's authority. You're supposed to respect that. And then turn around and said, but at the same time, you're a dick. Get the fuck out of my unit.
Disciplinary action. Like whipping.
Ooh.
And
Wait,
the one interesting comment I had a few people saying is like, why didn't Lightning Dust didn't get a good enough? It wasn't coming like that. She was a complete bitch, and basically she gets kicked out of the Wonderbolts, and that's it. And I just want to say, anyone who thinks of that, she basically got the
dreams
pony
crushed.
equivalent, the pony equivalent of a big chicken dinner, which is when you get discharged from the military for doing something really, really wrong. And you have no career other than, working at a fast food restaurant. It's the kind of thing that would destroy you.
She just had her dreams crushed. I think that's enough of a discipline. I think that's enough of payback.
Yeah, that was, honestly, I almost felt that was almost too harsh. Because she's shown herself to be a more than competent flyer.
Yeah.
I suppose you could put it in that light, but they didn't actually develop her character enough to actually make us care for her love for being in the Wonderbolts nearly as much as Rainbow Dash, because especially throughout season 1 and a bit of season 2, she's like, holy shit, I want to be in the Wonderbolts and all that jazz, and then when she finally gets into the training program, you actually kind of felt for her, and you were like, shit, yeah, this was what we wanted to see this entire time. Her dreams are coming true. But with Lightning Dust, it's like she just kind of came in. Lightning Dust kind of came in out of nowhere, and sure, you could say that she had the same dream, but you never actually saw her actually, aspiring to be a Wonderbolt. You never actually saw her, dreaming and wishing as hard as Rainbow Dash did. So
She was very much the dark half of Rainbow Dash.
Yep.
Here's the thing, her actions very quickly established the fact that she wanted to be the best, the same as Rainbow Dash. That's why she's a darker, well, not necessarily darker, but she's a similar, she's a mirror to Rainbow Dash. Like RD is very much, she's the element of loyalty, and so she'll be the best, but not at the expense of others, while Lightning Dust doesn't give a shit. She doesn't give a shit, basically. She will do whatever she can to come out on top, damn the others.
She's negative.
At least she wasn't a Richie. I thought she was going to be, before reading, episode descriptions and all that, I thought she was going to be another Richie from Pokemon. And she wasn't. So plus kudos for that. Time to continuing onwards.
Hang on. Actually, I just wanted to say, when you said the best thing about the episode was Rainbow Dash's character, I was going to correct you. You're wrong on that. You're objectively wrong. The best thing about that episode was that Twilight Sparkle was there. Oh my gosh, she looks so beautiful.
All right, well, if we're going to go down that route...
Okay, you guys have to put up with this for this interview.
You're
Every
definitely
single
going to have to
meetup
put
that
up...
me and Meelz have been at, if there's a Twilight plushie, you are not getting it out of his hands. It will be hugged like there is no tomorrow.
Oh, you Perth people. Anyways, yeah, I have to say, though, the worst part of that episode, to be completely honest, if we're going to go down that route, was the fact that there was no Scootaloo in it. That was heartbreaking.
You just wanted to see where Scootaloo says goodbye, don't you?
I just wanted...
I can't see
tease
how...
me with one episode. I want an entire season dedicated to Scootaloo.
It's just like a split second before an ad break. It just flashes to Scootaloo and then it just goes back. You're like, yeah, she's in the episode.
Fan pandering.
I'll be honest though. If an episode like this, I would a Scootaloo a cameo would be really, really great. But as far as the
it's
actual
a Rainbow Dash episode.
But you complain about Pinkie Pie taking up too much time. As
far as the main plot goes, I can't actually imagine how Scootaloo would actually really fit into the main thing of because it's Rainbow Dash's kind of own agenda with the Wonderbolts. But otherwise, I'd really like to have seen.
How about you have Scootaloo wanting to watch Rainbow Dash train because Scootaloo's obsessed with Rainbow Dash, the balloon, tornado.
And Scootaloo wants to join the Wonderbolts then.
Yeah.
Better yet, it could be just her watching from the sides, being all Rainbow Dash is my hero. Wait, what's going on?
Yeah.
She's causing grief to all the other cadets and everything. She's ruining my image of her. Why you do this?
And then she puts on the adorable face.
Dash, stop.
Best face. Anyways,
Yeah.
Time to move on, as sadly as it is, to something that I've been wanting to discuss for a while now, and finally we're getting to it a while ago. I don't have an exact date because I'm lame, but the MLP comics were released, and I finally was able to get a copy of it and read the first issue, and it's amazing.
It
is. I cannot recommend this comic more so. Like, I almost prefer it to the show itself. Really well written. I think it's intended for a more mature audience.
Definitely.
And references everywhere. I'd like to hear your feedback on it as well.
Just from the art style, more, I guess you'd say more stylized, more of a, I don't even know what the artist's name is, but yeah, more stylized, more mature. The writing, the plot especially. Because, I mean, yeah, you had the whole Changeling invasion, but this one has the, ponies being
Zombie
kidnapped
ponies.
and, zombie ponies.
Yeah, I really like that. You definitely say that My Little Pony Friendship is magic. At the end of the day, as many bronies as many bronies as there are in the world, it's at the end of the day they're writing it for the target audience, that being little girls under the age of 12 or whatever. But the comic itself kind of felt like it was, written for the same audience that was reading, Marvel Comics, DC, Spider-Man, Batman and Spider-Man, that kind of stuff.
I only really read Tintin comics, so...
I agree completely.
But they were awesome.
I mean, there were references... Like, there was an entire 2 pages of that pretty much dedicated to a Shaun of the Dead reference, which I can guarantee you no 12-year-old girls have seen. And
so many others.
It was brilliant.
Well, talking about the references, I'm just looking at the first big splash page, and oh god, it took me a while to get first of all the Magnum PI pony, Hawaiian shirt and Ferrari symbol. Then we've got there's Screwball and there's Derpy, obviously, the freaking Blues Brothers.
It's just a homage to everything in
Blues
this
Brothers ponies.
in this picture.
You can't get any better than that unless it was an actual episode with those two in it performing, I don't know, Sweet Home Manhattan or
Season
something.
4.
I love the art in this comic. It's so expressive.
Yeah, no, the art was amazing. It's so expressive, especially Applejack.
God, she's so fucking angry.
Applejack in particular, she just PMS Avenger.
She just loses her shit all the time.
Because,
humor...
dude, Apple Bloom is missing. What do you think she'd do?
I know, but it's still funny.
Lose her shit. She'd lose her shit. She acted... Like, that's just it. They also acted entirely in character as well, which was between, like, Rarity restyling Pinkie's mane and how she reacted, Applejack going crazy.
It's like they knew that the bronies were kind of breathing down their neck. It's like they had to have it 100% accurate, that they had to...
Written by fans for fans.
Yeah.
Yeah, the characters are in character, but they've just exaggerated it more, and it's just so I love it because the the show style sometimes feels a bit more subtle.
I'll
But
tell
it's
you what though.
exaggerated.
I'll tell you what
It's great.
though. When you said that you actually liked the comic more than the show itself, I can't really say I'll agree, but I can definitely say where you're coming from. I would personally prefer not that I prefer or anything. I would compare it to Walking Dead, how people kind of treat the comic series and the actual TV series as two completely different entities, despite being at the at the end of the day the same thing pretty much. Both of them I can accept are just about as canon as the other, pretty much. But I won't actually try to compare the two. They're pretty much just two different things. If I wanted to watch the show, I'd watch the show. If I wanted to read the comic, I'd read the comic. At the end of the day, I'm going to be doing both, because what else am I doing with my time? A lot of I'm sorry, F-Dog.
Not a lot else.
Yeah, no music. or
No,
anything.
F-Dog is totally not breathing down my neck. Dude, I am so sorry. The second I get back into the studio, I will do those guitar tracks. I am so sorry.
He's flying through his teeth. Yeah. No, but and the second comic as well has been leaked. The writers have encouraged people not to read it until the actual comic itself is released and to buy and support it. I guess I would, I would say respect their wishes as much as possible. Unfortunately, I may have read it before I realized that it was leaked. And
Well,
the
actually,
right thing to do.
when I found out it was leaked, I had a bunch of people giving me links and stuff. I'm not gonna actually say who. But when I was given links, it turned out that those links were actually taken down or whatever. I don't know if they were taken down by the writers, or if they were taken down by the people who uploaded it or whatever. But basically speaking, I actually really couldn't find it. So I guess I'm gonna have to wait like every other normal jack-off.
Well, and
It'll be worth it.
consider this a little promo for it. The second issue, it's just as good as the first, if not better. Like
Sweet.
I've seen scenes.
maintains-
I've only really seen the first part of it, and I found it to be genuous right there. Just especially the one reference that they made to Animaniacs.
It was
I
totally
freaking love the
homogeneous with
homages and the
first
references in that.
And
I mean, we got-
something I actually
it-
wanted to ask, and I'll put this on the table for discussion, is that when I was talking in a group, brony group, I can't remember which. No, I'm not going to waste my time trying to remember which it is, but people were complaining that it was pandering way too much to bronies.
I don't give a shit.
When it comes
Oh,
to
yeah.
stuff like references to like memes or OCs that people adore, whatever, the whole derpy issue, lol save derpy 2012.
Oh, God.
As long as they don't make references to like rage comics or like really retarded memes,
As long as it doesn't
I'm fine
take
with it.
away from the story itself, and this one did not. It just added nice little bits. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
Psychonauts reference, which tied into Rarity Perfect. There was the what was it, Anchorman reference, which was just a throwaway line, which made it even more amusing.
yeah, I
haven't
mean,
picked any of these up.
pretty much,
It's very similar. Well, that escalated quickly, and then ended
Oh,
abruptly.
yeah.
That escalated quick. That was... Oh, I lost it at that line. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That was...
pretty much,
Brilliant.
like you said, if it's not going to fully affect the plot or whatever, then I'm fine. I mean, I'm personally really fine. I see these as, neat little nods to the community, as long as they're not breaking the show just for us. Like I personally found, I'm not gonna whine about the iTunes update of what was it, the last roundup? If that what that
When they
episode
changed
called.
Derpy's voice, yeah.
Yeah, that was Derpy's episode. Applejack can't think of her own episode. Damn.
Next episode,
But-
man. Next episode.
When they changed the voice, I wasn't terribly fussed, because at the end of the day, it was the intention that counted. They were making a reference to a joke that started out on 4chan, and how fucking cool is that?
Ew.
Actually, it started off with Oh wait, no, Derpy itself, yeah.
Yeah. This was a
opposed to,
joke. This was a joke on 4chan. So how cool is it that they are picking up, this kind of internet, the internet references and actually making it canon?
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
I agree. I'm with you on that. Fan pandering, unless it takes away from the story, which I haven't seen yet.
It
doesn't
came
bother me.
it came close during the Magic Jewel one. I've seen a lot of people complain about fan pandering. I thought, yeah, there were a couple of bits in there that came really damn close to it.
What the
Just a couple of
only
bits. I
thing I
mean,
can
one
see-
of them that just came out of nowhere was just like, why is Lara in the background having a drink? It's just it.
yeah.
I mean, if it turned out that
I like
Lara
that,
became
though.
part of the magic act, then fine. But yeah, it was Chekhov's gun that wasn't fired, so it's like, what?
Yeah, I see, but I love Lyra, so I was happy. That didn't take away from the story.
Yeah, I personally didn't really pick up on any of the pandering in Magic Jewel because I was kind of, still going heads over heels that it was a Twilight episode, and I was kind of just drooling over every second Twilight had screen time, and I was like, Twilight!
Okay,
I
now we
was-
need to drag Meelz away
yeah.
from the microphone.
True story in regards to the Scootaloo episode. I think Whittaker, you may have been there when I watched that episode and I was in tears at parts. God.
No, I wasn't there, but I can imagine.
Yeah.
It was an episode with all the
Bad.
feels, and because it's your favorite pony.
Yeah,
That'll happen.
and I had consumed a gratuitous amount of alcohol. I'm talking entire bottle of tequila and 2 6-packs.
You're just
Yeah,
wallowing in your
kids,
sorrow.
Flying Castle does not condone drinking while watching ponies, unless you're over the age of 25.
Pictures were made of that. Thank you, What's a Pokemon? Anyways, back on track. So yeah, Changeling Focus comic, Changeling Focus story. How's that for a segue? Paingod, go.
Well, keeping with the theme, it's like, alright, so the entire town's been changed to the Changelings. This fic is the same one. It's called Changelings Everywhere. And it's a very simple premise. It starts off immediate rest with Rainbow Dash being a changeling, because every fanfic like this always has Rainbow Dash be the changeling. I don't know why.
She has no family.
Everyone that I've read where it turns out that one of them is actually secretly a changeling, it's Rainbow Dash. I don't get it. So that happens, and then they try to investigate exactly what happened to the real Rainbow Dash, and then Pinkie Pie shows her hand as being an assassin, and Applejack finds out. She rushes in and says, "Oh god, we found another changeling," and then Flashheart reveals herself. So no, I was talking about Pinkie. April Fools. So then they go out in the street, and she's like, "Guys, we found more changelings." Then a whole bunch of ponies go, "Oh crap, they found us!" They turn to changeling and run off, and it just turns into one glorious cluster of changelings everywhere.
So many changelings, and it's great too. Not giving away too much, but Celestia finds herself in the middle of it, and just watching her kingdom essentially all realizing how many ponies actually are changeling, and just her internal mental breakdown as everything is happening is just so glorious.
What happened to my ponies? I'm having hard enough trouble keeping track of my minions. I'm not keeping track of yours.
Because Celestia in the comic, because in that story, she's the only one I feel who was actually written the most in character.
Well, obviously,
And
because the rest are
her-
changelings.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just so perfect how she handled that entire thing as this cluster is just going down. Oh,
There's not really much you can say about it. It's one of those ones. It's like Tales of Anguish. It's like what are some of those other ones? It's those ones. It's just the one shot where things just go insane and you just roll with it, and it is glorious.
Yeah, I would have to recommend it as well. It's actually one of my top 10 favorite fics, which is a bold statement, but thinking back, yeah, it's up there with Tales of Anguish. I wouldn't put it legendary status because it is a one-off. It is, it doesn't take itself seriously, which is a good thing, and it's a fun read.
Give it a rating.
Changelings.
9 out of 10. Yeah, Changelings out of Changelings, that's a perfect rating. And with that,
No, nine
as it were,
9 Swiss cheese legs out of 9 Swiss cheese legs.
What kind of a pony has that
8
much?
out of 8 holes.
I don't know
Right
what
now.
I don't know how that came.
As it were,
I
You said
call
that
it
3 times now.
the changeling spider.
as it were for the people playing the As It Were drinking game, I'm
As
as
it
it
were.
worring you right now because
As it were.
you've gotten off easy this week. As it were.
There's a drinking game?
You've said it
Oh,
about
yes.
3.
This was last week. Last week we came up with the As It Were drinking game, where
He
every
says
time
it
I
a
say
lot.
As It Were, I said it a lot last week. So finalizing up As It Were, I am just
I
messing with people
heard
now.
you just struggling, you went like, and then you
Just
struggling to get it, to not say it.
Dude, if you kill off our entire fan base through alcohol poisoning, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
I'm gonna be proud.
I'll be disappointedly proud. Proudly
As
disappointed.
it were. It's unfortunately time to say goodbye. So, first and foremost, Meelz, thank you so much for being on the show.
No worries at all. It was
Um,
so much fun being here. And I'm really sorry that I sound terrible. And I really wish, this cold would go away. I have a convention to go to tomorrow. Wait, hang on, it's today. Wow, I should be going to bed soon.
Yeah, how many dicks were down your throat?
Let me check.
Yeah, don't worry too much about apologizing about the voice because there are only so many people who can pull off a good internet voice with that many dicks shoved down their throat.
Yeah, like
How many was
I
it?
could name
Just
names,
to
but I
confirm.
think they might
It
want
was
to keep that
3.
private.
Yeah, I totally
three
wouldn't
dicks.
let I
Three many
totally
dicks
wouldn't let the
with them.
people know. Kuroshia. Hey Kuroshia, how's it going?
yes. So again, thank you.
Oh, I want to see the day where doctors rate the severity of a cold by how many dicks it sounds like you've got down your throat.
I should start making posts on the internet about that. I know forums where doctors will listen.
I am so happy we did not have Hollow on this episode. No offense, Hollow, when you listen to this, but
We've
You
destroyed so
understand
many
why.
people's innocence in the course of this thing.
this has been glorious. So it has again, thank you, Payne. Thank you, Whittaker. You finally had your chance in the spotlight, and you failed spectacularly.
Oh.
Payne, you were fabulous.
Yeah.
Damn straight I am.
Last but not least, thank you to our listeners for coming on. If you have anything you want to send us, flamecaster@gmail.com. You can post comments on the episode itself. And big exciting news, we have forums now. So, we have
That
forums.
we do. It's got all the normal forum things like words
Like words, threads,
that you can read.
emoticons coming soon.
People talking to each other and getting mad at each other. That's what all forums are about.
Arguing.
Oh boy.
Let me tell you about MLP.
We even have a pretty extensive roleplay section as well that's really taken off, so
Of course it is. It's a brony forum. That's just honestly role playing is business as usual on any brony forum.
Yeah, but no one wants to interact with my furry character.
yes.
Screw you guys.
Anyway, so,
Moving on.
so I hope to see people on that forum checking it out. It's a great way to interact with cast and crew directly. And on that note, thank you, our listeners. Have a pleasant evening. End of the world. After all, we're all dead, so no one's going to listen to this anyways. Good night.